is John Colo with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you. We're going to use the all-new Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer to juice the good standby. The good old standby is just simply carrots and apples. Now, the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer is named Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer for one very important reason. What does it mean? It means you can juice whole fruits and vegetables in it, because it has a large 3-inch wide feed chute. Check it out. This is the pusher, 3-inch wide. Let me go ahead and show you guys the top of that machine. Wait. No, it's not a gun. This is a juicer. Much better than a gun. I encourage you guys to own a juicer, but not a gun. Well, anyways. So this has a nice 3-inch wide feed chute here, so you can put whole pieces of produce in, so that you and your family could eat a more rich whole foods diet. I encourage you guys to eat a whole foods diet instead of a processed foods diet. Now, a whole foods diet is not things you're buying at Whole Foods. It's simply things like fruits and vegetables, whole nuts and grains, things that are not processed in a factory, not put in a packaged bottle or jar. And with the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer, you can do just that. And so besides just the wide feed mouth, you know, the Kuvings company has been making the vertical slow juicer for many years now, and this is their latest revision. So this has an all-new, more powerful motor than any other slow vertical juicer on the market, 240 watts, plus it has more torque. So torque is what slams you back in the seat, you know, in like a race car, and the torque is what's required in a juicer to really snap off big pieces of carrot or any other fruit and vegetable that you're juicing. So this juicer not only has more power, but also more torque. One of the unique things about the Kuvings Slow Juicer is that the Kuvings company actually manufactures the motors to spec in the same facility they build the juicer. And I've visited them actually in Korea. Many other juicer manufacturers just buy motors and put it in the machine. Kuvings has specifically designed this motor to work properly with the best efficiency in mind. Now, besides that fact, some of the other cool features on this machine is the cap here. This cap allows you to do mixing inside the machine. Also, it allows you to do portion size control. So say you're making juice for a family of 5. You could get a juice in here. You could just put a cup underneath, open this to get juice in the cup till it's full, then close, and then get the next cup to put underneath so that you can make a cup of juice for everyone in your family. Another thing, the reason why I like it the most is because it prevents drips on your countertop after juicing. Most juicers do not have this special feature, and after you're done juicing, it'll, you know, drip on your countertop. Not too cool. So definitely like this feature as well. Now, one of the reasons why this machine works is because they didn't just take a standard vertical auger juicer and put a wide feed chute on it. They have a specially designed auger that's like no other, that is here to literally break up and chew off chunks of apples or chunks of carrots and then suck it in the machine. Now, this is a slow juicer, you know, the world's first big mouth slow juicer on the planet. I mean, most of the time the wide feed chute juicers are those high-speed centrifugal ejection style machines that run at 10,000 plus RPMs or revolutions per minute. What this means is that they run very fast, so that means they're very loud. They also actually add extra oxygen into the juice, which lowers the nutrition. The slow juicer will ensure you that you're getting the most level of nutrition because you're doing the least amount of damage or oxidation to the fruits. Another cool thing is, think about it, when you take an apple and you slice it to put in a standard style juicer, you got to cut up all your produce before you put it in the machine. As you slice, you're number one losing liquid, so the tomato juice will come out on your cutting board, and that's juice that's actually not ending up in the collection cup. But also, when you cut open an apple, the instant you start to cut it open and it's exposed to air, it starts to oxidize. So that's why the apples turn brown. So with the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer, there will be no excess oxidation other than the oxidation happening by the juicing process itself. So I like that a lot. For me, the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer is about one thing primarily. It's about convenience, man. Let's face it, nobody likes to spend time cutting and chopping up produce, and actually just the fact of cutting and chopping up produce and cleaning up your cutting board and whatnot can add 50% more time to your whole juicing session. So in this way, with the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer, you're going to save more time, and we all know time is money. Let's also talk about another way about time and the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer, the warranty time. I always encourage you guys to get a juicer with a long warranty. The Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer has a 10-year warranty. So this is your assurance and your health insurance, in my opinion, that you're going to be able to juice and get more fresh fruits and vegetables in you. Because that's what juicing to me is all about. It's about being able to get more fresh fruits and vegetables in you than you normally would. And I think it's quite sad in this day and age that most Americans simply do not eat enough fruits and vegetables. And by simply juicing them with the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer, you can include more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet so that you can get healthier. And I mean, that's how I turn my health around, simply by starting out with juicing and making other changes in my diet to include more fresh fruits and vegetables. And I can tell you, I've never been healthier, never had more energy, and never been at a nice weight for myself. So without further ado, let's get into the juicing today. Super simple, super easy. As you guys can see, we have all the produce here. We will not even have to use this knife to cut up things. And it's very important when using the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer to rotate the produce. So if we're juicing carrots and apples, we could take all the apples and put all the apples through first, and then all the carrots. Or even worse, we could put all the carrots in and then try to juice all the apples. I recommend proper rotation of the produce when you're juicing. So the apple is a really soft fruit, and we want to always rotate soft and hard, soft, hard, soft, hard when juicing. So we're going to put an apple, a piece of carrot, an apple, a carrot, and always rotate. Another thing that's very critical is that all slow juicers make more pulp than the high-speed centrifugal ejection machines. And this is definitely true of the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer and other vertical juicers on the market. So for that reason, it's very important to slow down when juicing. Although this has a nice 3-inch wide feed chute that will allow you to feed things in very quickly, you're going to want to slow down and let the machine take the time to work and juice properly. The machine kind of works like we do. Like if I was eating this apple, I'd take a bite, I'd chew that bite up until my mouth is empty, then I'd chew another bite, right? The juicer does the same thing. If you put the apple in the machine, it's going to juice one bite at a time. Literally, it's going to take a chunk off the apple, press and squeeze that juice out, and then it's going to take another bite at its own time. So you don't want to just sit there and pump that stuff in as fast as we possibly can. We need to give the juicer time to work. Another thing that's very important is when selecting fruits to juice is you want to get nice, hard, and firm fruits. If you could like dent the apple with your finger, that's a soft fruit, and that's going to definitely make more pulp in your juice and more of an apple sauce instead of that apple juice that you're looking for. One of the recommendations that I recommend is select the Granny Smith apples whenever possible. They're always more hard and firm, and they retain their texture better than, say, these galas here. So that might help you out a little bit. Also be aware that, apples are in season in most parts of the U.S. in like the fall. And then if you get into like next spring, when you buy apples in next spring, what you're doing is you're buying mostly the apples that were harvested 6 months ago in the fall that's been under a cold storage and oxygen deprived environment. So they get softer over time. So if you buy the juicer like, the beginning of the year and it's working fairly good, not getting a lot of pulp, and then later you're getting more of an applesauce, well, that's because the apples are older at that point. So always get the freshest produce whenever possible. Next, let's go ahead and turn this machine on. This is truly a silent juicer, and I like that it's nice and quiet, and we're just going to start juicing, so check it out. One whole apple right in the machine. Now, I encourage you guys only to use the pusher to push things into the machine or a piece of produce. Never put your hands, your daughter's hands, your dog's paw, knives, forks, anything inside the feed chute, because it can get stuck in the gear, damage whatever you're putting in it, and also void your warranty. So in this case, we're just going to simply take a carrot to push the apple in the machine. As you saw, we put the apple in there and it's kind of staying in there and it's not moving down. John, what's that about? Well, there's a special safety piece of plastic that does not allow you to put, like your hand in to stop you from putting things in there. So we do need to push the apple through there. It's quite easy, and once we did that, the apple easily goes in the machine. Once again, the juicer takes one bite off at a time and squeezes out that fresh juice. Now that we put one apple in, we're going to alternate feeding. So now we're just going to drop a carrot in, and look at that, one whole carrot in the machine. The auger's coming around, taking one bite off at a time, and it's reducing the size of the carrot into nothing, and we're getting the delicious carrot juice out. One of the features I like about the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer is the smoke color feed chute. This allows you to look in to kind of see what's going on. So if it's all jammed up in there, right, don't keep feeding stuff. Give it some time to work. So next we're going to go ahead and put an apple right in there. Once again, stopped up. Let's go ahead and take a carrot. Simply push that in. The juicer goes around and keeps taking bites off the carrot. I'm letting it and giving it some time to work to juice that apple up until I put in the next carrot. Now let me tell you guys something. I went to the market to pick out the nice fattest diameter carrots. I mean, I wish I could find a 3-inch wide carrot to put in this juicer to see what would happen. But this is a nice fat diameter, but check it out, we'll just drop it in there. And the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer handled it with no problems whatsoever. Alright, next let's drop another apple in there. I really like the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer. Once again, no cutting necessary. One of the things I do want to mention is that I have removed the little stem of the apples. That's very important. The stem, if you do leave it in there, can get caught in the outlet port here and cause a blockage, which then will reduce yield and decrease performance. Looks like that apple went through there. Once again, we're going to go ahead and drop this carrot right in. I missed. Let's try it again. All right. Whoa, right in the machine. That's totally cool. And it gets juiced right up. All right, we'll let that carrot work all the way through, and then we're going to put this apple in. One of the things I do want to mention is that all vertical slow juicers tend to produce more pulp in the juice than other style machines. So for that reason, you may want to get an additional strainer to strain out some of the extra fiber if you don't want it. Now, the fiber in the juice is not a problem. You can totally drink it and it's totally fine. It might be good. Maybe you want some extra fiber in your juice. But I prefer to strain out the fiber when drinking a juice. So that apple went through fine. Let's go ahead and drop that carrot in there. Now sometimes what will happen is you might drop the carrot and John, it's not auto-feeding. It's defective. No, it's not defective. Sometimes you just need to reposition the carrot to get it to work properly. Sometimes what you may notice when juicing carrots is if you get a really fat diameter or you overfeed or feed things too quickly, what will happen is the machine will stop running. Don't be alarmed if this happens. The thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and momentarily turn the machine off over here, and then you're going to use the bottom of this button. The button is actually a 3-position button, so there's a off, on, and reverse. And you're momentarily going to hit the reverse on the machine to get it unclogged, and then you could go ahead and then turn it forward to have it continue juice. No problem whatsoever. Next, we're going to go ahead and put that last apple in there. Push that in with our carrot, nice and handy. I really like that I don't have to use a pusher. Juicing our apple right up, and then finally we're going to go ahead and drop that carrot right in. So while it's juicing our last carrot, I want to show you guys this juice pulp. I mean, the pulp coming out of the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer has definitely impressed me. I mean, I could take a whole handful of the pulp here in my hand, squeeze it, and man, I'm not squeezing any juice out. You know, I'm literally squeezing, the pulp is coming out of my fingers there. Oh, I got one little drop of juice. This is some of the driest pulp that I've ever seen on any vertical single auger machine. Looks like we got all the juice out. We're going to go ahead and put our little cap down to prevent drips on the counter. Then we're going to go ahead and take our pitcher here with some delicious carrot apple juice and pour right in. I always encourage you guys to make your juice look festive, and you could easily do that in a wine glass. I love that good old standby carrot apple. The carrot, high in beta carotene. The apple gives you some natural sugars to make it taste good, especially if you're not used to drinking straight carrots. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode learning more about the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for future episodes on the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer, as well as me comparing it to other style juicers on the market. Once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors. All right, this is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and what we're going to do in today's episode is we're going to use the all-new Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer to juice one of my favorite fruits. It's just citrus fruits.